Curly hair is swollen whenever it's wet. So when you air dry your hair, you are having your hair in its swollen state. So I don't care how healthy you think your hair is. If you have not seen it straightened, then you do not know the real integrity of your hair. Now, these videos that you're going to watch are 7 years old, so the quality will not be the best, but I have thousands of videos and I don't want them all to go to waste. So in 2024, I am going to use them to give you a visual representation of what I'm talking about on my channel. Right now, what you are looking at is somebody who is suffering from a bacterial infection of the scalp. If you want to know more about the different forms of yeast and bacteria that infect the scalp, causing different follicle disorders, then make sure you check the playlist pinned in the comments below. All right, but what I am doing now is using a certain tool. I'll leave a link in the description box below to go ahead and remove some of the dead skin cells on her scalp so I could begin her scalp detoxification process. Now, I do not share that here on YouTube, on social media. The scalp detoxing process is within the 7-day challenge, but let's get into it. This beauty here is actually older than me, but she does have, a couple of issues, and her mother is her primary caretaker, right? And for that reason, her hair is done with normal team natural practices with a lot of oils, butters, and greases. And they were kind of under the impression that because they were not adding heat and they were adding oil and doing twists, that her hair was healthy, right? But let's go ahead and break down the hair shaft. Your hair shaft is constructed of 3 bonds: the salt bond, the disulfide bond, and the hydrogen bond, right? And right now I am operating with somebody with low porosity hair. I sprayed the same exact amount of product that I normally spray on, but with somebody who has a low porosity hair, you have to work the product in. After I work the product in with my hands, any excess product that was left, I blotted out with my microfiber towel that is wrapped around her neck. I do not have excess product on the hair shaft. If I can see the product visually, it's going to sit on my client's hair and it's going to weigh my silk press down. If you've ever straightened your hair and you've noticed that it's not flowy or bouncy and things of that nature, it's because you have too much product on the hair shaft. It's just as simple as that. So as we are going through this video, YouTube gives you the capability to slow things down or speed things up. What I need you to do for me is, as you're watching this, I want you to pause it whenever you get a clear shot of my brush so you can see that it is a myth and a lie from the pits of hell that blow dryers break off hair, that round brushes break off hair. There is not one drop of this woman's hair within my round brush. You know why? Her hair was properly detangled way before the shampoo process ever started, and then before I began to blow dry her hair, the leave-in conditioner was combed through her hair from her ends up to her roots and from her roots to her ends, and boom shikala boom, here we go. So it's very simplistic, you guys. If you are a person who is trying to flat iron your hair and you're trying to avoid heat damage and all of that, so you skip this part, you say, oh, I'm not going to blow dry, I'm going to just air dry and then flat iron. That is the fastest way to get heat damage. You know why? The flat iron is not the thing that gives you a good silk press. It is the blowout. And there is not a cosmetologist, a good one, walking the face of this earth that does not agree with me. If you find somebody who specializes in silk presses or that specializes in straightening hair so to get really good trims and stuff, they will tell you the blowout is number 1. If the blowout is not done properly, neither is the hair. So again, if you are a person who listens to somebody who tells you that blow dryers are bad, you have come in contact with somebody who has not mastered the technique of using a blow dryer, right? That's just like saying, ooh, cast iron skillets burn your food. Oh, deep fryers burn your food. Absolutely. If you're a person who doesn't know how to cook, if you're a person who doesn't know how to control the temperatures and things of that nature, absolutely, it's not going to come out good for you because you haven't mastered the tool. So, don't just go ahead and shame different things away. Master the tool. This is something a lot of people aren't going to want to hear, but everybody needs to get a mannequin. Instead of you playing games in your hair, it is time for everybody to get a mannequin and use the mannequin as a plaything. Use the mannequin as something that you use to test out your techniques. So remember, in every other field of anything, they do tests first, right? Whether they do their testing on animals, which is not okay, or whatever they decide to do, they have tests that they run first. But for whatever reason, when it comes to curly hair, you don't think that you're supposed to do a test first. You think that you're the test dummy, and you are not. Get a mannequin that matches the texture of your hair and practice. And do not touch your hair until you perfect it. When you're in cosmetology school, or at least when I was in cosmetology school, they make you perfect everything before you move on to the next module. I had to pass every single module on a mannequin before I could graduate onto the floor to touch human beings at hair school, right? And guess how long you're in the classroom? For a year, guys, for a year. So if you think that all you're gonna do is watch a video on YouTube 2 or 3 times and then boom, you go to Ulta or you go to Sally's and you buy all of the products that the girl used in the video and you think it's gonna be perfect, absolutely not. Some of the best cosmetologists out here had to perfect their craft in a classroom for a year before they ever touched a human being. So at the end of the day, we all need to be really realistic with ourselves. I'll never tell you to humble yourself. I don't like that word, but everybody needs to be more realistic with themselves and really do specific planning when it comes to straightening hair. Because see, what happened was with the whole Team Natural community, it was a whole bunch of women who didn't understand the science of hair, and instead of people sitting down and learning, they just decided to come up with hack after hack after hack after hack, and every hack needed a product to go with it. At first, every hack had a homemade product, but then the hair industry started seeing that, oh my God, these Team Natural people are winning. So let's go ahead and make products that they can use at home. This is what they're asking for. It's going to result in follicle inflammation and so many other scalp disorders, but they want oils and butters and greases and all of that, then let's do it. One thing that I always notice anytime I tell people not to put oils, greases, or butters in their hair, people will say, oh, Cynthia, well, is it oil and conditioner? If you think that, I need you to check the video linked in the description box below. It's a very short video showing you about how much oil is in conditioner. Y'all, the conditioner that you have, any conditioner you have right now, I bet money there is less than half of a teaspoon of oil in the bottle that you have. Like less than half of a teaspoon, guaranteed. If you don't understand what I mean by that, check the video link in the description box below and see how conditioner is made. They don't pack oils at the same rate that you guys pack. It does not work that way. All right, so I really want you guys to pay attention to that, and I also want you to notice that there is nothing on her hair. The only thing that is on her hair is the leave-in conditioner that you saw me spray. I explained that, and then as I'm flat ironing her hair, there is a heat protectant from Kimbra. Nothing else. So again, if you are a person who packs product after product after product on your hair, this is why your silk press doesn't come out good. I don't care what anybody says, right? Guaranteed. Again, get you a mannequin, right? And do half and half. Half of the mannequin's head, do it the way that I'm telling you to do, which is shampoo, conditioner, rinse the conditioner out, put leave-in conditioner in, blow dry the hair, flat iron the hair, spraying spraying heat protection as you flat iron, and then that's it. If there are flyaways when you get done, spray a half of a dime size amount of serum on your hands, emulsify it, rub it on your client's hair, and then wrap it in a circle. Put them under a dryer for about 15 minutes on cold air to close the cuticle, and bring them out. And do it that way for half of the head or for one mannequin, and then do it your way with all of the layers of products, right? Most people do leave-in conditioner, then some type of oil, and then an additional heat protectant, because the women don't understand that your leave-in conditioner is your heat protectant for the blow dryer. You don't believe me? Go on Cheese website and look at the description box of their leave-in conditioner. Go on Kimbra's website and look at the description box of their leave-in conditioner. They are both humidity blockers and heat heat resistance. Oh my god, I can't get it out. Heat protectants. Oh my goodness, I couldn't get it out, and I'm not re-editing that part, right? So these are things that I really want y'all to think about. If you're doing a silk press and your hair is like stringy and it doesn't look the way that it looks in a salon, my baby, it's because you add too many products. In the hair salon, we do not add all of the 50 million products that y'all use. This is why when you go into professional salons, you are not going to see no Shea Moisture, none of that stuff. I don't even know what you call it. As I am, you're not going to see it, because a licensed cosmetologist understands that for our services to turn out properly, we need our clients to have weightless hair. Now, I need you to pay attention to this breakage, right? Look at her breakage and pay attention to it, right? Even if you need to take screenshots, I need you to pay attention to the way her breakage looks when we switch over to my next client's example, right? But everybody has the same types of breakage because everybody does the same styles that they think are protective. I need y'all to understand, get your panties out of a bunch. Unless the ends or the scalp is protected, it is not a protective style, right? Listen to the word, the definition of the word. For something to protect your hair, it has to be covering it in some way, shape, or form. If you just put your hair in twists, baby, that's not a protective style. If you just have your hair in braids with no fake hair or anything cover it, baby, it's not a protective style. There's nothing protecting the hair. But if you do twists, right, and you add some braiding hair to it that wraps around the natural hair protecting it, that is a protective style. If you get box braids with its artificial hair or human hair or whatever wrapped, or even yarn wrapped around your hair, then the hair is protected. My baby, just because it's a whole bunch of braids, just because it's a whole bunch of plaits, just because it's your favorite team natural style, my baby, does not mean that it's a protective style. All right, let's get out of our feelings and let's get into facts, right? Webster's dictionary. What is the definition of protection or something being protective? Look up the definition and then ask yourself, does the style that you are putting in your head constitute for that? No, it does not. Right? Just like having your hair down is not a protective style. It's not. But if you do your hair right, then your hair isn't going to be damaged. A lot of people also aren't going to like this. A lot of women with naturally curly hair say things like, oh, well, I don't wear my hair down because when I wear my hair down, it snags on my shirt. My baby, if your hair is snagging on your shirt, your blowout was not done properly. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but as a cosmetologist, if I had a client who sat in my chair and paid me money, and then when she went home, her hair was snagging on her shirt, not only would I get reviews on Yelp and people talking crap in my comments on YouTube and on Instagram, like everybody would know about it, which means that's not normal. Your hair snagging on your collar is not normal. All I'm gonna say is I need you to go and look at your patterns and look at your routines and see what is causing your hair to be that way. Contrary to popular opinion, single strand knots are not normal. There's only a certain group of women who wear their hair a certain way that get single strand knots. And there is another group of women who never get single strand knots. They only hear about it on YouTube by the girls who get them. I know a lot of people aren't gonna like that, but I'm not here to make you feel good. Baby, that's for your husband. Baby, that's for your boyfriend or your girlfriend. I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to make you think, right? So now, as I'm just bending her hair under a little bit, you've watched. I was not able to get all of the breakage off, but the main objective for her was to get a scalp detoxifying treatment, remove that dead skin, so we could begin resetting her natural hair growth cycle. Unfortunately, if you are new to my channel, then you don't know this, but I did a pop-up way back in. That's why I still have that mask on. And her mama was the crazy one that made it so I'm not doing it no more. All right, but she was a sweetheart. But her mama, girl, girl. But anyway, her hair came out really good, but again, she would have to keep up with keeping her hair clean and clear and full of grease and oil and all of the different things that she was doing to feed the bacteria to cause the scalp inflammation in the first place. But if you are at the very beginning of your journey of growing your hair out and switching over from negative practices, again, break out your mannequin, whether you want to practice doing, flat irons, or if you want to practice doing roller sets or flexi rod sets or anything. You need to make sure that it's something that you feel confident enough to do, and make sure that you're not just playing in your hair, whether you're using, again, heat tools, roller sets, flexi rod sets, perm rod sets. Practice first. All right, so again, this is how her hair came out. There was no breakage, there was nothing, no globs of hair in my combs, no globs of hair in my brushes. And it's one thing for me to tell you guys in videos, but it's a whole nother thing for me to visually show you. We can talk until we're blue in the face, but you can visually see it. So people can say blow dryers break off hair until they're blue in the face. What do you see with your own eyes? People can rage bait you and make you afraid of combs and brushes and blow dryers and flat irons. What do you see with your eyes? Do you see hair that's damaged and broken after a flat iron or a blow dryer? I didn't think so. Okay, here is one of my other clients. Her mother's video is in the description box below. Her mom was one of the clients whose hair was extremely uneven that I ended up having to go back and trim. But I, at this point, have been doing her hair for years. Like, I want to say at this point, I've been doing her hair for about like 9 or 10 years. But this was the issue. The issue was I didn't do her hair like every 2 weeks. It was like every 3 months, right? But every time she came back, I will always have to cut more hair off because of the practices leading up to her appointment, right? So the way her hair is right now, I have compacted this part down drastically. Normally it took me about 25 to 30 minutes to detangle her hair when she came, right? There is nothing but oil on my hands. When you are doing hair, you're not pouring all of the whole bottle of everything on your client's hair. Do not do that. Over the last 12 years, the reason that they do that, you guys, is because they want to bleed you dry of money. And if they make you think that you have to pour a glob of the product, if you're using half of the bottle of the product every time you do your hair, then of course you're going to be spending a crap load of money on products. Don't get mad at me, but you guys can't constantly complain about the prices of products when you use half of the bottle every time you do your hair. It's not a thing. Like, even as a professional cosmetologist using the same bottle of leave-in conditioner on 13 clients a day, I was only re-ing up on products like every 3 weeks. And that's doing 13 people a day, working 5 days a week. So these are things that I really want y'all to think about. But as it pertains to her hair, I'm not gonna lie. Her mama it was just like wake up and go. Like it was, hey, it was wake up and go. I love them. I don't know what else to say, but that's what it was. And like I said, I did her hair for years. As you can see, it's not damaged or anything like that. But like I said, the regimens and the patterns, they did not listen to me. I love them so much, but they did not listen to anything that I had to say. And I know it was because she was younger. It was other stuff. I love you, boo. You grown now. You know you didn't listen to me, girl. You ain't listen to me, girl, ever. But anyway, so now I am finishing combing through her hair. As we've talked about earlier, there's a difference between combing and detangling. To detangle means to remove knots and tangles. I already did that the first 30 minutes that she was there. Praise the Lord. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but unless it's a service that you booked on, removing knots and tangles and matting is not a part of a cosmetologist job description. It's just not. I'm sorry. There's no module in school that teaches you how to remove knots and tangles. There's no module in school that teaches you how to do hair that hasn't been combed in months by choice, like, because it's not a normal thing. I know a lot of people aren't going to want to hear that, but when I was in cosmetology school, or before I went to cosmetology school, it never crossed my mind, oh, I can't wait to stand behind a chair and wash hair that hasn't been washed in 6 months. I can't wait to be a slave girl. That was never a part of the thing. The shampooing process was something that I knew that, of course, I had to do, but I've always been pressed about the art form of hair, never about like hygiene, and we'll talk about that in another video. Anyway, so now at this point, I am going through again, like I said, and combing this leave-in conditioner through her hair. Now, again, it may look to some people like I'm hurting her. I am not. I want you to pay attention to the way that I hold her hair in one hand as I'm combing it with the other. This prevents me from losing hair and from her having breakage. Like, that's how it goes. Sometimes when you have clients that had really, really, really matted hair before they came in, what you'll find is that as you're detangling their hair, you will find even more like shed hair that needs to come out, right? But what I did at that point was give her a additional softening treatment, right? If you want to know more about that, then I'm not going to teach it here because that's on the growth cycle blueprint. But yeah, link in the description box below. So again, we are combing through. What is crazy to me, the craziest part to me across social media, is how everybody demonizes combs. A comb, my baby, oh my God. Like if combs were thrown away, if brushes were thrown away, I literally don't know how I would do my job. I literally have no idea. Like a comb or a brush, oh my baby, I could do anything with a comb or a brush. So to say that they're damaging or they're the thing that breaks off black hair when every other woman on the face of this earth is combing and brushing their hair at least twice a day, it's really dumb. And I really need us all to stop saying it. What I want you to do is, again, pause this video as you are watching and zoom in and notice that there is no hair within my round brush. I'm constantly saying this. Look at all of the videos in the description box below. There is no hair in my brush. So again, if brushes break off hair, I'm going to have a brush full of broken hair. Make it make sense. I don't care who says what about what. Oh, but blow dryers do cause breakage. No, it doesn't. If blow dryers and round brushes and all of that cause breakage, explain to me why there's no hair in my brush. I'm not being confrontational or nothing. Baby, don't shoot if you don't want smoke. Again, if you're going to leave the comment, blow dryers break off hair, I need you to explain to me why there's no hair broken off in my round brush. Okay. I'm really, really interested to hear that. So again, we're constantly blow drying her hair. The reason that I like to use a round brush is because I get way more attention. Not to mention, the average human being has 100,000 follicles on the scalp, and out of all of those 100,000 follicles on the scalp, you have about 1 to 4 strands protruding out of each pore, which means that the average human being has anywhere between 100,000 and 400,000 strands of hair. So look at all of the hairs on a paddle brush versus all of the hairs on a all of the bristles on a paddle brush versus all of the bristles on a round brush, right? It is a lot easier to separate the hair with all of the bristles that are on the round brush versus the flat brush. Am I saying that there's something wrong with a paddle brush? No, I am not. I use paddle brushes too. I'll put that in the next video that I repost for you guys, right? Use paddle brushes too, but it depends on what service I'm providing, right? If I am doing a silk press, then I'm using the round brush. If I'm doing a ceramic press where I'm not using my round brushing technique because my round brushing technique costs some money, honey, then I just do a regular ceramic press. If you want to see the difference, then let me know and I'll leave it in the description box below. That will be the difference between like a soft press or a really, really hard silk press. Most people book hard silk presses. A hard silk press is done with a round brush. A softer silk press for me is done with a flat brush or a paddle brush. All right, this is just me and my professional opinion, the way that I do my techniques, right? When it comes to cosmetology, you have the science of hair that you have to follow, you know, like the different angles of elevation, porosity, things of that nature, and then you have technique. So all of the techniques are going to vary from artist to artist, but the science stays the same. The reason that there's so much confusion is because you guys have confused science with technique. You guys have stepped in the spot of the scientist instead of standing in the spot of the person creating technique. Create new techniques until you blue in the face, but keep the science, right? So now we are halfway through blow drying her hair. I think I was drinking some water or something. Again, this video is about almost 7 years old, going on 7 years old now, so I apologize for the quality, but again, learning experience. So as we're going, I also always need you guys to stop and look at my round brush to ask yourself, is it hair in this girl round brush? Is she breaking this girl's hair off? You don't have to ask yourself any of those questions. All you have to do in your heart and soul is pause this video when you get a clear shot of my round brush, and that will answer the question for you. If you are blow drying your hair and you have a bunch of hair in your brush, if you are blow drying your hair and your brush is getting stuck in your hair, my baby, you are doing something wrong and you need to stop playing in your hair. Do not touch your hair with a blow dryer or a leave-in heat protector. Don't do not a damn needle, nothing, until you get a mannequin and you practice on the mannequin. All right. So at this point, her hair has already been blown out. I set her under the dryer for 15 minutes so her scalp can dry all of the way. As I've taught you guys in other videos, there's a method to the madness. Trust me. Your cosmetologist want to go eat. She want to go to the bathroom or something. She not just keeping you up under the dryer because she wants you there all day. You have to make sure that your scalp is 100% dry. A, because it'll revert back at the root. And B, because I don't want you walking out of my shop with bacteria growing on your scalp. All right, get into it. So now all I'm doing is spraying a little bit of leave-in conditioner on her hair and flat ironing it. That is it, and that is all. I love my boo, but I remember when I used to do her hair, because her and her mom would use so many different oils and butters and greases, I would literally wash her hair like 78 times. And no matter how much I wash her hair, sometimes whenever I went to flat iron it, it would still look like it was oily a little bit. But I don't think this was one of those times, but I'm having flashbacks. I need you to know that sometimes if you are a person who puts a whole bunch of coconut oil or oils and butters in your hair, can I say something to you that your cosmetologist or that the new person isn't gonna want to say to you when you leave? If before you got there you had a whole bunch of coconut oil in your hair, she do not like you. That cosmetologist that had to wash it 70 times, you got on her last nerves. She probably don't even like coconuts or pina coladas no more, all because of you. So I need y'all to understand that when you go into a shop, my baby, we there was nothing in cosmetology school about how to de-oil somebody's head because they want to roll around and slip in the oil. So these are things that I really want y'all to think about before you go to a shop. If you're a person who knows that you overdo it with the oil, my baby, try to give yourself a detoxifying scalp treatment. Try to give yourself like a detoxifying shampoo because it's so annoying. It annoys my spirit and my soul for other people. I know you think that oil remover is a cosmetologist's job. It's really not. It's really not. It's not. Don't oil slick it. This ain't the car shop, okay? But anyway, at this point, again, I'm simply flat ironing her hair. I do not remember what temperature her flat irons are, but I never went over like 415 for anybody, to be honest, unless it was like straight from, like, you know what I'm trying to say. Unless the curls was girl. Yeah. Anywho, so we're constantly going down. Again, I've been doing her hair for years. She was extremely comfortable with me. I don't think her mom was there at this point. She is, no, I do remember. She has low porosity hair as well. And one thing that you will notice, somebody who has low porosity hair, when you put the right amount of heat protection on, you do notice a lot more like vapors. But that's because everything's bouncing right off the hair. Low porosity hair isn't letting everything inside. So that's why, especially somebody who has low porosity hair, you don't want to turn the heat all the way up on them because their cuticle is tight, right? It's a little tighter. It's not closed, but it's a little tighter, which means it's not like high porosity hair where as soon as you put heat on it, it lets it right off, right? For the most part, because the cuticle is closed, the heat bounces right off of the hair if you do it properly, right? But if you add too much oil to the hair shaft, baby, it's like frying chicken, okay? And the cuticle is closed, so it's gonna hold on to all of that heat. And my baby, that's when you get heat damage. Even if you have high porosity hair, if you have too much oil in your hair and then you put a flat iron on top of it, baby, it's like frying chicken. And I tell that to everybody. There's a difference between a serum and a oil. And even when I'm doing the silk press, unless the hair is like super high porosity and really, really thick, really high density, I'm not even using serum for the flat ironing process. The serum doesn't come into the end. And if you add an oil to the flat iron, my baby, you can see what's gonna happen. Take some oil and just put a dot of it, like just throw a little piece of it on top of your flat iron, and then it's gonna start boiling. It's gonna start sizzling the same way it was sizzling your skillet. So what do you think it's gonna do to the hair shaft? Oil and flat irons don't mix, baby. That's why we use serums. It's a difference, right? Oils have a purpose in the hair salon, but a very, very small, very minute one. Oils is a thing of YouTube. It's not a thing of cosmetologists and hair salons. And I'm sorry, but the cosmetologists who have just taken oils and butters and all of that, the ones that claim or label themselves as natural hairstylists, it's all made up. It's all made up rhetoric, things that they've made up. None of the things that Team Natural people, stylists do are in any cosmetology book anywhere. Like when you go to state board, you don't get tested on twist outs. You don't get tested on wash and goes, like none of those things. You are taught how to set bonds properly. You are set and taught how to break or remove the sulfide bonds and put them back. You're taught how to remove pigment and put in artificial pigment, but you're never taught any of those Team Natural things. All of the Team Natural stuff that they do, the finger coiling, all of the things that y'all following have been made up by individual women. Like, it is what it is. I'm not, do what you want to do. I'm not telling you what to follow or what not to follow. We just having a real conversation, and that's what it is. None of it is backed by any scientific anything, right? So I want you to pay attention to her breakage. Again, this is the same exact breakage that we saw from our last one, but it was just at a different length. So as you can see, it is a very, very big difference in length. At this point, I've been doing her hair for so many years, I'm used to it. But at the very beginning, this used to really, really bother me because my motive in getting behind the chair, my intention was to do this one time, right? Do this chop one time, and after that, never do it again, because after that, your hair is to your butt, right? And almost to your butt, if not already to your butt, with no questions asked. But if every single time I do your hair, I have to do this, if every single time I have to cut all of this hair off to even it out because we're doing wash and goes and twist outs, like that's literally all she did was wash and goes and twist outs. And again, like I said at the beginning of this video, because your hair is curly, because it's thick, you think that your hair is healthy. Long hair does not equal healthy hair. It doesn't. Like, before her hair got started, right, before we started doing her hair, to stretch it out, you would say, oh my God, her hair is so beautiful and healthy. But does this look like, do these ends look healthy to you? No, they don't, right? And I feel comfortable talking about it because her mom actually had no problem with me talking about it. Her mom was like, my bad, girl, I'm sorry. Like, when they came in, she would be like, girl, my bad, off rip. Like, they already knew what it was, but I just want everybody to be realistic with themselves. Like, you shouldn't have to get this much hair cut off. So imagine if all of your practices were different, right, throughout the month. Then whenever you come in to get a trim, just imagine where all of the breakage and stuff was. Imagine if there was no breakage and all I had to do was take off like a half of an inch, or not even a half of an inch, just a little bit, just cleaning up the ends, right? These are things that I need y'all to understand. Everybody's growing hair, but none of you are retaining length because you think that you're doing something good, drenching your hair in conditioner and detangling it. You think that is normal, that every time you comb your hair, you're pulling out globs of hair out of the brush. It is not normal. You're not able to retain length because you're pulling all of your hair out. Blow dryers, flat irons, combs, brushes are not the devil. They are not. Because if they are, can you please explain to me what about her hair looks unhealthy to you? Not to mention, she can go home, which is what they was directed to do but didn't listen. All she has to do is go home, and when she washes her hair, she could put flexi rods in her hair and so many other things. In my next video, I'm going to have 2 of my clients with extremely long hair, whose hair I did for years, that listened to everything that I had to say, and they are fully, they black on black, they thoughts is well, not black, you know what I'm trying to say. This is how her hair always turned out. It was always so beautiful, which is why she was always in trouble. Every time I finished her hair, I was giving her a lecture. She was just like, whatever, saying, I'm like, girl, just imagine like how cute and long and luscious it'll be if I don't gotta cut it every time. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't listen to me. But it's okay. She's a grown woman now. I love you, boo. And I know your hair is all silky and long now, like Pocahontas. You guys, if you like this video, then make sure you let me know in the comments below. And let me know what you want me to address or add to the next video. Whatever questions you have, I will add it to our next replay video. But make sure you watch this video next, where we are going to talk about protein treatments and why you need to stop doing protein treatments unless, well, just watch the video, right? Let me know in the comments below what you think. Her hair looks absolutely beautiful, like silk, right? This video, like I said, is older, so hopefully in the next video I'll be able to get the quality to look a little better, but I don't know. This is the best that I could do. I will see you guys in the next video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, like it, write a comment, let me know your favorite part, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye.